These CELPIP words and phrases are going to give you a ton of marks in speaking. So when you are using different points, use this word right here. Furthermore, when you switch from one point to another, especially when it's a major point, using furthermore helps you using advanced vocabulary. It's also a little bit longer than stuff like and also, giving you a little bit more time to think about your next point. When you say furthermore, you also pause for a second after it because it's a big connector that also gives you a little breathing room. The next thing you want to use are words like as well or as well as. So when you have to connect 2 points, it's really handy to make a complex sentence by connecting 2 points. For example, I recommend you go to the gym as well as try looking at online videos on workout. So I could connect these two by using as well as instead of making a new sentence. I could also say, I recommend you go to the gym and watch some YouTube videos as well. So by putting as well at the end, you can nicely blend in the second point with a good flow instead of making it abrupt. Moving on to is another one. So moving on to helps you say 3 words instead of a one-worded connector. And you want to throw a mixture of one-worded connectors and 3-worded connectors because you want to show a range and variety of your vocabulary usage. So you get marks there. Plus, it's a long connector, gives you at least 2 seconds to think about what you have to say next. It's the perfect phrase to use when you're bridging 2 major points. The next thing is what's, and here you have variations like what's worse, what's more, what's surprising, what's even. Now with what's even, you can say stuff like what's even more exciting, what's even surprising, what's even better is, and then continue talking about whatever you want to express. Of course, it depends on the scenario, but what it does is it emphasizes whatever you're trying to say, and it makes your tone more natural when you are expressing that exaggerated feeling. What's worse is, and then you explain. Using words like given that help you make a complex sentence. For example, given that there is a lot of inflation right now, we should probably control our finances. So you have given that something and then something else. 2 points. And when you do these 2 points in one sentence, using words like given that at the start of the sentence, you're making a complex sentence and you have a lot of marks for that in CELPIP speaking as well as writing. So use a good combination of complex and simple sentences. Next thing is nevertheless or nonetheless. What they mean, they simply mean but. When you say but, it's very basic. So instead we should say however, it's intermediate. Now let's take it up a notch. Let's go nevertheless or nonetheless. These are highly academic words. They mean the same thing like but or however. The only difference is you get more points when you use these words. And they're very useful in part 5 where you're comparing and persuading. So try using them there and sprinkle them all over. Next, you want to use consequently. A lot of you are lacking concluding words. And when you do concluding words, the only things you say are therefore and thereby. Sometimes in informal speaking, that is very odd to use. And sometimes you're not making a big conclusion that you have to say therefore every time. Use consequently there instead. It is advanced, academic, unique. And consequently simply means the next thing you're about to say is consequently the next step was whatever. But when we go to the conclusions, the best word you can imply is overall. So overall is just something you can use at the end of each speaking task if you are rushing. You should throw in a variety, but if you're rushing, you can just say, overall, I feel this. Overall, you should do this. Overall, this is the better option. And that is perfect when you're rushing because a lot of you do rush. If you're not rushing, think about variations. But keep overall as a good backup. It's very handy and can be used again and again. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk very soon.